We're going to wrap up 1.7 Geometry Geniuses, talking about the distance between 2 points in the coordinate plane. What we've seen so far was just midpoint, which I think is pretty easy, similar to just taking half of the sum for x coordinates and y coordinates. That was pretty easy. This is going to tie into the third problem from the warm-up, where we were using Pythagorean theorem to solve for the distance on the hypotenuse. So what's cool is that although we're plotting points, like let's say we plot A and we plot B, we can use Pythagorean theorem to get the distance between those 2 points, even though it's not a straight horizontal or vertical line. Since it has more of a positive or negative slope to it, we need to be a little bit more strategic about that. And so this allows us to take the distance by breaking down Pythagorean theorem. We can take the square root for the difference of our x coordinates. So x2 minus x1 being squared. We add on y2 minus y1 being squared. That allows us to get our distance. So pause this, take notes if you need to, but we'll be using pretty much Pythagorean theorem to solve these. And although some of these problems don't say specifically to use Pythagorean theorem, I'm going to keep trying to fall back into that habit because I think it's good to do that. And it makes the problems easier. So I know that I could get the distance between these 2 points if I just did that whole Pythagorean theorem bit. So I'll do it for this first shot, and then I'll show you what I would do if I had to draw this out. So I could take the difference of our x coordinates, which would be 3 subtracting -5. I could have done it the other way, but I'll just do it from the right point to the other point. So subtracting y coordinates, then doing 6 subtracting -1 being squared. Be careful here. Make sure to simplify inside parentheses before you square. So this would give you the square root of 8 squared plus 7 being squared. So the square root of 64 and 49, which would give you the square root of 113. And this problem says to leave it as the exact value, so leaving it as square root of 113 is just fine. That works. So we'll leave that. If I was going to draw this out, how would I do this? I could map out that -5, -1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gives me 1 point. Map out my other point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I measure out this base, this is going to be 8 units. If I measure out this, actually is that? Sorry, so let's scratch that. Let's make this the 1. How many units is our base? So this is 7 units. This would be 8 units. And now we have a right triangle with a base of 8, height of 7, which would eventually give us that. So falling back on the Pythagorean theorem is definitely helpful. If you have any questions on this one, let me know. If you want to try the other ones, you can do that and then touch base with me in class and I'll tell you how those are looking. Thanks for watching.